Alrighty boyos, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be doing yet another loadout video teaching you guys a really good build for a really good character, and today's going to be a little bit of a comparison as well. Today we're going to be comparing the Trailblazer to the Enforcer Outlander, determining which is the better character, but mainly this video is going to be pretty much focused around Trailblazer. One thing I do want to mention before we jump into the video is I would like to sincerely thank you guys so much for the support as of recently. We are getting very close to hitting 50,000 subscribers. We just hit 3,000 followers on Twitter, and we just hit 4,000 followers on Twitch. This is absolutely insane. The support has been crazy, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for that. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now, of course, we're taking a look at the Trailblazer Hero. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with the Trailblazer, I will go ahead and show you guys really quick. So for this specific video, I'm actually using a Trailblazer which is exclusive to the PS4. This is Trailblazer AC, and he does the exact same thing as any other Trailblazer in the game does. And here's a quick clip of what exactly the Xbox version of this hero looks like, because yes, the Xbox and the PlayStation both have exclusive heroes. I believe they start out around the rarity of just a normal blue, just a normal rare, and you do have to flux them up. Now, the reason that I am using Trailblazer AC is because of his looks personally, but the way that you can use this character without having a PlayStation, if you're on PC or you don't want to flux up the character, this character right here, Trailblazer Quinn, is the exact same character. She has the exact same abilities and the exact same perks, so I do want to clear that up. If you guys don't have a PlayStation or Xbox, or you don't want to flux up the heroes that come with them, then you can go ahead and level up Trailblazer Quinn. But for this video, I decided that I would use Trailblazer AC just because I like the way that he looks. Now, Trailblazer is a very interesting Outlander because it is a direct competitor to the Enforcer Outlander, which is known for having one of the best teddies in the game. However, in recent testing that me and my friend Nylik have done, because me and Nylik pretty much collabed on this video, we kind of put our minds together, I guess you could say, and helped each other get some footage and whatnot. His link will be the first one down in the description. He just recently started making videos, and he did help me out a lot with this video, so I want to go ahead and give him a quick shout out. But yeah, so with this specific Outlander, it is a very good competitor to Enforcer. This Outlander in particular has Teddy, Shock Tower, and Phase Shift. His flavor text says, "Come on guys, catch up." If we take a look at his perks, his standard perk is Berserker, which increases the Teddy damage by 30%, and his commander perk, which increases the Teddy damage by 46% and the fire rate by 25%. Now, like I said, a direct competitor to the Enforcer Outlander. So we are going to take a look at Jingle Jess, as she is the exact same as Enforcer Grizzly. She has Teddy, Seismic Smash, and Phase Shift. Now, the number one difference right here is the fact that the Teddy and the Seismic Smash are her main abilities. Whenever you go and look at the Trailblazer, instead of Seismic Smash, you have Shock Tower, which is arguably, from a lot of people's perspective, a lot better of an ability. But let alone the Seismic Smash difference, you also have a very huge perk difference as well. If you take a look at the standard perk, you have Bear With Me, increases the Teddy duration by 4 seconds. Then you have the commander perk, Bear With Me Plus, increases the Teddy duration by 12 seconds. Now, on paper, you would think that this is the superior perk whenever it comes to perking out your Teddy. You have so much more duration, you will be able to do so much more damage, right? Well, like I said, this is a direct competitor, so me and Nylik decided that we would do some testing, and our testing were very similar in terms of the results. He did single target, I did multi-target, so I'm going to show you guys gameplay of exactly how good the Trailblazer AC, or just Trailblazer in general, how good his Teddy is compared to the Enforcer. So I'm going to be playing these clips side by side to some smooth jazz, of course. So we will see the Trailblazer first, and then we will see what the Enforcer can do. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. So as you guys could see, the Trailblazer was actually able to kill more Husky Husks than the Enforcer. Not only that, but it was also able to do it a lot quicker. You have to remember that with the Enforcer, you have a very long Teddy. The duration increase is huge for the Enforcer, but even with that very long increase to its duration, it still was not able to output the same damage as the Trailblazer Teddy. Now, one thing I want to mention, just so you guys know about these tests, is that we're going to go over the hero loadouts between these. This is the hero loadout that I use for the Trailblazer AC, and this is what I would deem the best loadout possible for the Trailblazer. So the team perk we have is Phase Blaster, which you get this from First Shot Rio. Every 5 seconds, your next shot will be a Phase Pulse, which deals 47 base energy damage, and it requires 2 Outlanders. I basically use this team perk just because there was a lack of a better team perk out there, and me personally, I actually like the Phase Blaster a lot, so it just kind of gave me an excuse to use it. We also have Bear With Me, which is the Enforcer support ability, which increases your Teddy by 4 seconds instead of 12 seconds like the Commander perk. We also have Fragment Generation, which allows us to get a new fragment for every 39 eliminations. We also have Static Cling, which will increase our Shock Tower damage. We also have Overbearing, which increases the Teddy's range by 2 tiles, allowing it to do more damage for up to 40% maximum range. And then we have Bear Stare, which allows the Teddy to fire lasers. Now, normally in this perk slot right here, we would have, let me see if I can find it. It's currently a broken hero. I know we've covered it before. Impossibility Matrix. Spending a charge fragment reduces Teddy and Shock Tower cooldowns by an additional 10%. This would have gone in the Static Cling area, but unfortunately, this character is completely broken, so I wasn't really able to use him to even further maximize the Teddy buffs on this character. But in its place, I decided to put Static Cling, and even after this update, and even after the next update comes out, which might fix Impossibility Matrix, some of you might want to use Static Cling because the Shock Tower in general is already a really good ability. This is the build that we went with Trailblazer, and in my opinion, it is the best build for this character. Now, this is the exact same build that we did with Enforcer. Note that you have Bear With Me. We go over here, we have Bear With Me. You have Berserker right here, we have Berserker. We have Overbearing and Bear Stare. Going back, we have Overbearing and Bear Stare. And then these last 2 perks right here don't even affect the damage of the bear whatsoever. And if we go here, we have the Fragment Generation, which doesn't affect anything, and the Eye on the Prize, which doesn't affect anything. So these were the 2 builds that we went with. They were the exact same builds in both gameplay, and whenever you looked at the Trailblazer's Teddy completely was shredding through the competition, making this, in my opinion, the best Outlander in the game. Even if you were to compare it to somebody like the previous Reclaimer, the Fragment Flurry Jess, I just don't believe that that character could be any better than Trailblazer. Now, I want to hop into some gameplay, and I want to show you guys a little bit of gameplay with Trailblazer in action, and just kind of discuss my general thoughts about this hero, and really, is he exactly the best Outlander in the game? So let's go ahead and jump into it. So here we are taking a look at the Trailblazer Hero in Fortnite Save the World, and in this portion of the video, I just kind of want to give my general thoughts on this hero, whether or not it is the best, whether it has the best Teddy, or where it exactly stands in the Outlander food chain. Now, in my personal opinion, I would love for you guys to prove me wrong on this, but in my personal opinion, I believe that Trailblazer is the best Outlander in the entire game. Whether you're playing Trailblazer Quinn, whether you're playing Trailblazer AC like I am, or the Xbox exclusive Trailblazer Jess, this is the best Outlander in the game. Not only do you have a Teddy which will absolutely shred anything that comes in contact with it, but you also have a Shock Tower that can do insane damage whenever you are surrounded by Husks. You also have your normal phase shift, and pretty much everything that an Outlander really needs. One thing that a lot of people have brought up to me, you know, we were talking about this on the Twitch stream, somebody brought up to me is that the one downside to the Trailblazer personally is that it's kind of hard to maintain your fragments, right? Somebody brought it up as in a way to say that maybe Fragment Flurry Jess could compete with this hero, because as we saw earlier, this hero will end up allowing its bear to do way more damage than that of the Enforcer, which was previously thought to have the best bear in the game. while Enforcer does have its strong points, it still really can't compare to the Trailblazer, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But as far as Fragment Flurry Jess is concerned, a main point that a lot of people bring up with this hero is the fact that it's going to be able to have its charge fragments out like crazy. You are going to be able to have tons of charge fragments with Fragment Flurry Jess, and that's what gives it the advantage. One rebuttal I have to that personally is that in Fortnite Save the World, you have a lot of downtime. Whether it is, you waiting on your teammates to start the Atlas, whether you're sitting around a shelter, whether you're waiting on the balloon to drop, you have a lot of downtime in this game. Why not spend that time going around the map and collecting charge fragments to ensure that you have the maximum damage possible? A lot of people say that, Fragment Flurry, she's able to get a lot of fragments. Well, seeing as we have so much downtime in this game anyways, to be able to compensate for something like that, why don't you just go around the map when you're playing Trailblazer and actually collect those fragments to compensate for that? Now, in my opinion, at the end of the day, I don't think Fragment Flurry Jess is better than a Trailblazer anyways, but this is something that you can do as a Trailblazer main. Make sure that when you do have your downtime to go out and get your charge fragments, because with such a strong Teddy, you will be shredding enemies even faster if you make sure that you keep up a good flow of your charge fragments. Even with the Fragment Flurry Jess support in your team, you're still also going to be able to earn charge fragments kind of passively through your abilities and while you're shooting enemies as well. Now, going back to the Enforcer argument, I kind of want to make this a very big point in this video of deciding whether or not you like the Enforcer Teddy versus the Trailblazer Teddy, because there are a very big thing here that we can talk about, and it really comes down to personal opinion in some areas, but this is basically what I wanted to say. Whenever you are facing a smaller group of husks in this game, what Teddy is going to be better, the Trailblazer Teddy or the Enforcer Teddy? In my opinion, against trash mobs in this game, the Enforcer Teddy is probably going to be your best bet. Not only is it going to stick around for longer, but it is also going to be able to do very good damage against those trash mobs. The problem with using the Trailblazer Teddy against the trash mobs is that it'll be able to kill them really quickly, but the Teddy itself will also die really quickly. The situations that you really want to use the Trailblazer Teddy in is in very high level activities, when you have a lot of blasters, when you have a lot of husky husks, and whenever you have a lot of smashers is when this is going to shine, whenever it comes to your gameplay essentially. The Enforcer Teddy cannot put out the amount of damage that the Trailblazer Teddy can, and at the end of the day, the damage difference isn't too crazy, but it is still there. You are missing out on potential damage and potential DPS if you don't use the Trailblazer Teddy. But that's not to mean that the Enforcer Teddy doesn't also have its position in the game whenever it comes to not only personal preference, but whenever it comes to certain situations at which it's better in. In my personal opinion, regardless of the certain situations that these Teddies are good in my personal opinion, I feel like the Trailblazer is the best in the game. Something that the Enforcer sincerely misses is the shock tower, and that is a very huge thing for Outlanders to be able to use when they're not using their Teddy. Whenever you're not using your Teddy with Enforcer, you're using a seismic smash that is absolutely garbage. Whenever you're not using your Teddy on the Trailblazer, you're using a shock tower that still has the potential to put out a lot of damage, especially against trash mobs, not to mention the stun potential it has against certain mist monsters. There's just no way that I would ever take an Enforcer over a Trailblazer in this game. Not to mention that the Trailblazers also have the widest selection of heroes that you can use. You can either use the Xbox hero if you were on Xbox, the PlayStation hero if you're on PlayStation, or you can use Trailblazer Quinn as well, although I suggest that you take her helmet off, because with the helmet, she looks really ugly. But there's just a lot of pluses. There's a lot of positives to the Trailblazer in general, which leads me to believe, and I am going to personally crown him the king of Outlanders in this game. Now, I want to hear your opinions in the comments down below, because this is just one man's opinion. You guys could think differently, but in my opinion, I think it's a pretty open and shut case that the Trailblazer is the king of Outlanders, not only in Teddies, but in general. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would greatly appreciate hearing from you. I know a lot of people have a lot of different playstyles. Chances are a lot of people might not agree with me, and I definitely want to hear from you, and I want to hear your reasons why as well. But yeah guys, that is it for the video. I hope I was able to inform you you guys on a really good build for a really good character, and maybe change your minds on which Outlanders you might want to be using in the future. But guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.